The Ontario Federation of Anglers and Hunters proudly presents Angler and Hunter Television. Brought to you by Canadian Tire, Boris Optics, Mercury Marine, and Lund Boats, Yamaha ATVs, Browning Ammunition, Browning Firearms, Suffix Fishing Line, Rapala, Camillus Knives and Cuda Tools, Yukon Gear, Killer Instinct Crossbows, and Outfitter Financial.
I'm just getting the boat armored up. As you can see, I'm on a gravel road, and today I'm gonna go backwoods bass fishing with my Pro V. So we're gonna, as we go along this road, it's gonna deteriorate, and there's rocks and mud. It rained last night, and you know, you used to seeing us at concrete boat ramps and big lakes, but today we're gonna go into the woods and try and get into a small lake and catch some bass. So Lund obviously comes with some pretty good coverage for it. It's a sort of like body armor. Keep the rock chips off, keep the mud off. The rock guard on the truck helps, obviously, but when you own a Lund, you can do these sorts of things. Don't be afraid to take it off-road.
Trailering the Lund down a winding back road in hopes of finding a hidden gem of a lake is something I enjoy doing.
Yeah, so, you know, a lot of people think it's, you know, highway driving and cement ramps and big lakes, but for the most part, especially around here in Ontario where I live, there's lakes and dirt roads and backwoods places to fish that they're accessible, but you gotta kind of go off the beaten path to get to them. And bringing a 19-foot bass boat to these lakes seems unrealistic, but the good thing about a Lund is, one, it's light and easy to tow because it's aluminum, and then two, you'd be surprised where you can launch these things. Part of the anticipation of doing all this is going to a new lake that may or may not harbor giant bass, but having this boat in here makes it all worth it. I've got the Humminbirds, I got Talons, I got the mid-coated trolling motor. I mean, you name it, we're gonna have the advantage over the fish, if there's fish in the lake. Just like that, the armor comes off. No rock chips, fairly clean, and good to go.
Today, I'm going to open up the rod locker of the Lund and share the top 5 rod, reel, and lure setups I use to find bass and catch them in a hurry.
So when I reach into the rod locker, chances are pretty good it's going to be an appropriate lure for the conditions I'm faced with.
Now, finding and getting into a lake is the easy part.
Oh!
Finding the fish.
Oh, that might be a big one.
That's the hard part.
Awesome.
What does the OFAH do? Since 1928, the OFAH has been the voice of anglers and hunters in Ontario. Its members raise funds and work in communities to support the traditions of fishing, hunting, and trapping. Let's take a look at how the OFAH is making a difference. Hi, I'm August Miller. I'm here with Ben Teskey, and he is the OFAH Atlantic Salmon Restoration Program Coordinator. What is an Atlantic salmon?
So an Atlantic salmon is a type of bony fish in the salmon family, and the salmon family also includes coho salmon, Chinook salmon.
So how did they go extinct from Lake Ontario?
Atlantic salmon are native to Lake Ontario, meaning that they occur here naturally. But in the 17 and 1800s, European settlement came into the Lake Ontario region, and there was a lot of deforestation happening, which is the cutting down of forests. And this caused the cold water streams to warm up and become really muddy. And then also, there was a lot of dams that were built, and the dams were built to power mills. And then you add to that overfishing and some pollution, and this fish went from extremely abundant, there were lots and lots of them, to completely gone, which is extirpated, meaning locally extinct, by 1898.
So how are we bringing them back?
So we are stocking. We're taking young Atlantic salmon, we're rearing them in hatcheries, and then we're putting them into the cold water streams. And then, of course, we're also educating people so that people will care about the natural world more, and we can have Atlantic salmon and we can protect other species as well.
So if I catch an Atlantic salmon, how would I report it?
So you can go onto our website, which is bringbackthesalmon.ca, and you'll find our contact email there, and you can email us through that. You can also follow us on social media. The Lake Ontario Atlantic Salmon Restoration Program on Facebook is a great way to also connect with us.
It's never been more important for youth to get involved and support Ontario's fish and wildlife, carrying on the tradition of fishing, hunting, and trapping through conservation.
This portion of Angler and Hunter Television is brought to you by Minn Kota and Humminbird.
So we got 5, eh? We'll challenge everybody watching today. Which of the 5 baits is going to be the one? I've got a topwater bait, a swim bait or a jerk bait, a crankbait, and a finesse wacky rig bait. Think I can catch them on it? I got a feeling it's going to come into play. Then, my trusty old favorite Ninja Craw. Yummy little bass morsel, ready to go.
When things get shallow and cover gets heavy, I always pick up my flipping stick and pitch a craw in as tight as I can to the structure.
Holy smokes, this shoreline.
Often making multiple casts to the same spot.
So far there's plenty of water under these trees, which would be great if I can connect with a largemouth and pull one out of one of these hiding spots, but you never know. It's been real hot this summer. Today's not hot. First day of a cold front. I pick it to go to lake, whatchamacallit. Got him! Oh, he's caught in the tree! Look at this line! That's how you do it, with braided line right there, everybody! Just keep reefing on them! That was nuts! It really wanted it! All right! I thought it was a big 5-pounder, all that mayhem. You were worth the fight, that was exciting. Holy, so that's why you use 50-pound suffix braid right there. Just pull them out of the tree. My nerves are shattered. So I'm gonna probably use all 5 of these sticks today to catch bass.
Shallow grass, lily pads, and weedy pockets are easy to cover with a swim bait.
Little rabbit ears on the back, that's called the jerk. It's a great soft body jerk bait.
Now, depending on how the fish are acting, I can fish it fast to cover water, or slow it down and let it drop into pockets, or flutter down around heavy cover.
And look below me. A milfoil bed. And there's all the way across this bay, there's milfoil beds. Oh gosh, bad things happen down there. That's how you get them. Oof. Jerk them out of there. Literally. Well, that was an accidental sort of bite. I was just covering some water with the jerk. I should have netted this fish. Hooked him good. Ooh, that's a beauty. Big head, kind of skinny body. Nice bass though. So there, that guy just smashed it. Oh, got him. This is big. I think it's a big one. That's a fish on the jerk right there. I'm gonna net him, it's a good one. Whoa, big old bucket. Oof. Wow, that's heavy fish. Take it easy. Boom. Oh. Went through his tongue. He was giving it a taste. There, look at that. Woo, fatties. Those are big old fat bass right there. Awesome. Healthy hump on their head. Just awesome. Get bigger, please. I'll be back after these messages.
This portion of Angler and Hunter Television is brought to you by Yamaha ATVs.
So 13 Fishing invented this lure for catching giant fish on topwater. What a bait. Look at this thing. Ooh. Oh, got him. Oh, it's not that bad. Ta-da! Boom! I got big plans for this lure. See that side to side? It's the easiest walk the dog bait I've ever used. It's a little big, it looks bulky, but it's a popper. It's got a popping mouth, and it walks the dog side to side. In the old days, we called them, it was spook, fishing a spook, walking the dog. But this is a monster. Ow, and the hooks are brutal. Slide to the left, slide to the right. It's like a dance move, but a fishing lure. Does that make sense? Power slide, see? Right, left, barely coming towards us. Almost stays in one place. What a beast of a lure. Look at that thing. Whoa! It just got eaten! Oh, it looks like a big old bass! He savaged it! Oh, that thing's in his mouth. It's crazy, the bass hate it. 13 Fishing's slogan is make your own luck. It's heavy. You can cast it 7 miles. Here we go, here we go. Just keep reefing on them. And these hooks, holy. Look at that, eating it. I'm almost speechless right now because that bait right there from 13 Fishing is money. Oh, these bass are awesome. If I could catch these all day on a topwater bait, I'd be real happy. Wait a minute, I am catching them all day on a topwater bait. Everywhere I throw this thing, I'm getting creamed by beauties. Get bigger, please. What a bait. I'm in love. And the hook's on it. Oh. I'm gonna crank the old rock wall.
Weed lines and steep breaks close to shore are practically a calling card for casting crankbaits.
Oh, this tree's gonna have one in it.
Mix in some submerged trees, and it becomes almost a guarantee that crankbait bite will pay off.
There's one, big too. Crankbait. Is that a pike or a bass? Oh, it's a big bass. Rod number 4 did it. The jabberjaw. Cranking largemouth is pretty awesome. Oh my God, I don't have the net ready. I'm not prepared. Look at this. I'm fighting a fish, extending the net. He's just barely hooked on a crankbait. Oh, it's a nice one. He's got that thing in his yapper. Woo! Woo! So there you go. On my 4th choice, out of the net comes this crankbait eating monster. Got pliers right here. I got a hook in my finger. Don't thrash. Don't you thrash right now. Woo! Fatty. That's gone. That was a nice largemouth. So what 13 Fishing did is they came out with the Jabberjaw, and it's a crankbait, but it's got a chatterbait lip, bladed lip. So it's free and it rattles. So this fishes, you can fish it like a topwater lure, swim it like a spinnerbait, or pause it or reel it down like a crankbait. And for all you guys that throw, there's another one, chatterbaits. This thing's awesome. I think it's a smallie. I didn't even know there were smallies in this crick. Yep. Bonus, smallmouth. It's just a little guy. But there you have it. I just caught a 3-pound largemouth. I'm gonna get a hook in my hand for everybody. Calm down, calm down. Oh, he's so good. What a good bait this is. That was a bit of a bonus. You need to get bigger. I like giant fish. Woohoo! The Jabberjaw did it. What a great bait.
The Fishing Edge is brought to you by Minn Kota and Humminbird.
To get the edge over the bass, I used Lund's 1875 Pro V Bass and Mercury 200 Pro XS, rigged with a Minn Kota Ultrex and 2 Humminbird Helix 10s to scour the lake. I used a variety of presentations, but the 13 Fishing Power Slide dominated. I rigged it on an Omen Black 7'1" moderate action rod and cast it with the Modus R2, spooled with 50 pounds Suffix braid. And of course a Lucky Strike net. And Cuda pliers made for easy handling and releasing of all my bass.
You know, if I was never to go fishing again and somebody said, this is your last day you're ever going to fish, I probably want to end my day throwing a topwater lure. And there's a huge underwater point here.
Covering water with the Minn Kota and watching the hummingbirds is basically all I do to learn a lake. And when I see something I like, I grab a rod from the top row and start casting.
Oh, big one. Just came under it. Swirled and went away down deep. There he is again. I'm going to throw the wacky behind him.
Catching those fish that short strike or just follow a topwater bait,
and that's why you bring this. I'm not going to use it much probably.
Can make the difference between having a good day and having a great day.
That was a big fish. Big yellow belly. That was giant. Under it 3 times.
I always throw a wacky rig stick bait as a follow-up. And more often than not, they will eat it.
Holy, like that. Do I got one? Oh, I threw back with the wacky rig and it paid off. This thing's huge. It was underneath that power slide, looking at it. This thing's big. I got a feeling this is a big one. And I just got a glimpse of it. It's pulling drag on my bait caster. Oh, it's a largemouth. I thought it was a smallmouth because we're on that rock point. This is awesome. I threw back and got him on bait number 5. Woo! I can't believe that worked out. Ta-da! Yellow-bellied beast. Look at how he's hooked. Look at this hook. There you go. Look at the big square belly. Gorgeous bass. Woo! And I saw it. I topwatered over the edge there and it was underneath it, all around it. I thought, oh man, I threw that wacky rig back. Big ones. And that's why I keep 5 different baits all the time. Write it down, make a note. I don't care what you gotta do, but that's the way to do it right there.
Closed captioning of Angler and Hunter Television is brought to you in part by Ontario Out of Doors Magazine. Angler and Hunter Television has been brought to you by Canadian Tire, Mercury Marine, and Lund Boats, Yamaha ATVs, Browning Firearms and Ammunition, Suffix Fishing Line, Rapala, Camillus Knives and Cuda Tools, Yukon Gear, Killer Instinct Crossbows, and Outfitter Financial. For more information on the products used in this episode of Angler and Hunter Television, visit AHTV.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Remember, conserve and protect our great outdoors.